Notre Dame last year, 11-1, college football playoff, national championship game. I think they're running the first part of it back. 11-1, back in the playoff is where I have the Irish. Some people object to Notre Dame not having to be in a conference. I get it. I don't personally have that objection because I've never once looked at a Notre Dame schedule and thought, oh, they're just scheduling a bunch of easy games. Kurt Signetti might enter the chat at some point. Who knows? No, that's not where I'm coming at this particular discussion. But Notre Dame plays a legit schedule every year. Their first two games are at Miami and hosting Texas A&M. Who else? Whomst among us, as Josh Pate might say, has got two games to start the season as difficult as that? I don't know, frankly, because even those schools that do play a legit week one game tend to have a really easy game the next week or two. And then you know who they have with conference play. So Notre Dame's schedule goes like this. At Miami, Texas A&M, Purdue, at Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, USC, at Boston College, Navy, at Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. I've got them going 11-1. Now, here's a fun game that we are about to play. And it's one that can't be played in real time, of course, because this is podcasting. I'm recording the show the night before it airs. You're listening to it maybe the day it airs, maybe the day after it airs, maybe 3 days or 5 days after it airs. I don't know. I appreciate you whenever you listen to or watch this show. But of the games I just listed off, I will read them again. In case you don't have it memorized, you probably don't. Let's see if you can pick who you think I'm going to pick to be Notre Dame's one loss this year. I do think 12-0 is possible for the Irish. I'm bullish on Marcus Freeman. I'm bullish on CJ Carr at quarterback, who beat out Steve Angeli, the veteran, who wasn't experienced in games, but certainly on paper should have been the starter. He's at Syracuse now and will take on the Irish this year, presuming he beats Ricky Collins for the starting quarterback job up there in New York. I think he will. I like Steve Angeli. I think Notre Dame likes Steve Angeli. They had him as their backup quarterback as they went to the national championship game for a reason. The fact that CJ Carr beat him out and looked impressive doing it, I think this is going to be one of the most exciting young quarterbacks to watch in all of college football this year. So at Miami, Texas A&M, Purdue, at Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, USC, nice home stretch there, at Boston College, Navy, at Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. Where do you think I'm going to put Notre Dame's one loss? I'll give you a hint. It's not week one at Miami. Both teams are working in a new quarterback. Both coaches have been there for several years. Miami's at home. That's an advantage. But Marcus Freeman went on the road to beat Texas A&M last year. And on game day, I will take Marcus Freeman over Mario Cristobal. And I don't think that Cristobal's roster is going to simply overwhelm Notre Dame's, good though it is. It is one of the three best that Notre Dame will face this season. I have Notre Dame's loss coming week 2 at home against Texas A&M. My reasoning is thus. First of all, returning quarterback who has a lot to prove in Marcel Reed, but he will have more starts under his belt at Texas A&M than CJ Carr will have at Notre Dame, where he will have had one start at that point in time. Number 2, the revenge factor. Texas A&M rolled out in Mike Elko's first game, and I picked Notre Dame to win on this very show because I said, I think Elko's a good coach. I'm going to take continuity over new. And that was a close, competitive football game. Notre Dame did not overwhelm Texas A&M. They went ahead later in the game. They won situationally. It looked kind of like their playoff run to the national title game. So the outcome there didn't surprise me, but this outcome won't surprise me either. We know Notre Dame is far from unbeatable on their home field. Teams way worse than Texas A&M have done it before. They will still be trying to work the kinks out and whatnot with their new quarterback in CJ Carr. And yeah, that'll be a problem in week 1. No doubt about it. Mario Cristobal's got a new defensive staff down there at Miami. Marcus Freeman has got a lot of coaching staff continuity on his side of things. But where Freeman has an edge in week 1, I don't know that he does have that same level of an edge in week 2. Because I haven't seen enough of Mike Elko at Texas A&M yet, who, remember, in the second half of last season, his first with the Aggies, controlled their own destiny to make the SEC championship game in the college football playoff. They started, I believe, it was 5-0 in SEC play. Texas A&M is a program that has underachieved for many years. Please put that vision of the program out of your mind. They achieved exactly where I thought they would a season ago under Mike Elko. So that advantage, I think Freeman has in week 1 against Mario is not going to be present in week 2 against Texas A&M. So I think that's going to wind up being their one loss because I think Mike Elko is really good. And the biggest question in that game, can Marcel Reed be effective enough as a passer? I know what he can do as a runner. I know Colin Klein's a clever offensive coordinator. At some point, though, no matter who your offensive coordinator is, the quarterback just has to be able to make some plays. And Marcel Reed can light up a stadium with his legs. What can he do with his arm week 2 in South Bend? First home game of the year for the Irish off a national championship game berth. That place is going to be on fire. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. That's going to be a show me moment for Marcel Reed. If you're someone who wants long shot, super dark horse Heisman candidates, put Marcel Reed in there. Again, long shot, super dark horse. Just want everybody's expectations to be tempered here. Marcel Reed is interesting. Of course, he plays quarterback, but when you have the ability to run like he does at that position, it makes you stand out in a pretty significant way. So the other games I'm watching for on this schedule, aside from Miami, the biggest, toughest games for Notre Dame are at home. And that's one of the reasons with their preseason win total, according to our friends at FanDuel being 10.5, they're one of the few 10.5 teams I love the over for. The other one is Penn State. Everybody else that's 10.5, I think I'm leaning under. Certainly with Ohio State, I lean under. I think they go 10-2 this year for the second straight season. And hey, nothing wrong with that. You got Texas coming to town. You got to go to Michigan. Penn State coming to town as well. I think they'll be really good. You have to go to Illinois. Watch out for the Illini. See if they get a statement win. But the road games for Notre Dame this year after Miami, they just at Pitt, sure, that could get crazy. Pat Narduzzi's a good coach, got a solid program. At Boston College, maybe Bill O'Brien gets crafty enough to go and win. At Arkansas, what's the status of Sam Pittman's seat? Oh, that's right. It's red hot. And you could say Arkansas red hot perhaps. What's going to happen in week 3? I don't know. Tennessee lost there last year. They were a playoff team. The road slate isn't brutal. So I like Marcus Freeman a lot, who I think did the best coaching job of anybody in the playoff. He got the most out of that Notre Dame team last year. They could barely complete forward passes on a regular basis. And Greathouse at wide receiver needs to be a guy that steps up for his young quarterback this year, but they want to run the ball, play some defense. That will travel to a lot of places. Notre Dame 11-1, their only loss to Texas A&M.